solo.
And hello! Welcome to Solo Playthrough. Sorry, something got caught in my throat. Yeah, sorry for the little bit of a delay there. Had some text blowing up, so I wanted to take care of that before I got on camera. And is my audio good? My audio's good! My camera's good! Everything's good on this beautiful Friday! I hope everyone's doing well and excited for a game of Lost Expedition. If someone could just do that thing where they just confirm that my audio is good. Actually, it'd be helpful if I popped out the chat so I could see it. Not that I missed anything in the chat, which is good, but we're going to pop it out just, in case that changes anytime soon. So look, we have Lost Expedition, and there's a pretty good contrast between my feeling about expansions yesterday for the Game of Australia. If you missed it, I streamed a Game of Australia using both the Tasmania and the Revenge of the Old Ones expansion. Honestly, for solo play, for cooperative play, you probably could drop the expansions. In my opinion, I don't think they made the game better. I think if you wanted to play competitive with somebody controlling the old ones, obviously get Revenge of the Old Ones. But for my time spent in factoring in setup and whatever, again, I would very much preferred just the base game of Australia. Let's go to today. I love the expansions for Lost Expedition. I think they make this game from a very good solo game to an even better, very good solo game. Still doesn't hit like great or awesome or epic for me. Look, this is a deck of cards. It's very, very cool. There's a lot of good ideas. I think my strategy in this one was way off in my last video. So whatever that guy said in the last video that was, just maybe looked like me, just pretend it wasn't me, because I'm going to say totally different things today. Private Vendetta. Hey there, audio is fine. Thank you, sir. So, or ma'am, look, I don't last time I was always trying to like play this game where I was like, I assumed it would make sense to be a little conservative, try to get, cards that have specialties, bring them over there. And I realized that the best way to win this game, at least with just the base game, was you had a blitz, kill off dudes, get you needed in the base game 8 jumps, get it done as soon as possible. And that was when I started like being more aggressive with the game, that I had more success. Still wasn't winning more than I was losing, but I definitely started winning a lot more. The expansions kind of lead into that even further, and I think kind of force you to realize, hey, the proper way to play this game is a bit more aggressively than you might be inclined to think. And I think that actually it just works for this game, right? There's still a level of depth and thought, and there are times you might forgo a jump because the alternative benefit is going to put you in a better position, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But reality is your health is a resource. Even the character's very life itself is a resource. So if you need to kill off Teddy Roosevelt to get a jump to win the game, as long as someone else can survive, that's really all you need. But now the expansions say, hey, by the way, in the base game, you could go through the deck multiple times. In this game, no. You go through the deck once, and that's it. If you run out of cards in this deck and you are not in the Lost City of Z, or what game are we actually? What is the city we're going to? I always forget because they have it called 2 different things. What is the name of the city? Yeah, the Lost City of Z. I think they call it something else too, though. Am I making things up? I do that sometimes. Yeah. So if we get to the Lost City of Z, we win. If we don't, if we don't get there by the end of the deck, then obviously we lose. If all of our explorers die, we lose. So the expansion is like, all right, so we have this endurance rule now, so we have to get this done by the time. And it's endurance rule is almost like a misnomer. It should be like lack of endurance rule, right? should be like, you don't have that much endurance. You will die if you get through this deck. But this deck is now a lot bigger because I have added in all the expansions. And I think that works well. So we have not only the names of the expansions here, we have the Fountain expansion. So we have like 11 cards thrown in here with the Fountain of Youth, which is super interesting. Those cards are bananas. They do make things harder. Your health is going to be much more jeopardized, etc., etc., etc. But we also have the Werewolf expansion, which is the Were Beast expansion, I guess, the Mark, which is pretty insane. I've actually not played a game with this yet. I'm throwing in it. It adds 6 adventure cards and this whole Were Beast mechanic, which again, I will probably look this up to confirm, but I pretty much get the gist, and I think that's pretty cool. We're also going to have a companion, so one of these 3 fine, feline slash native slash Volcana is going to join us. Volcana doesn't have a special ability that you can see. She just starts with 5 health instead of 3. One of them are going to join us, which is super cool. And additionally, we have the Mountain expansion. So there are 4 different modules. We're throwing them all in, and I think it will totally work. Remember, the base game, we had numbers 1 through 9, and 9 was the Lost City of Z. So there you go. 9 is still the Lost City of Z. Now we have 8 cards, and so we are going to play on the most difficult setting with the mountain. We're going to use all 8 slope cards. We have 8 cards. We're going to 4 here, 4 here. We have the peak of the mountain, and then we have the base camp. And all of these cards have different abilities that will trigger at the beginning of each one of our hikes. So either a morning hike or an afternoon hike, but all of it is like super, super cool. And I just think it really fleshes this game out super well. So I'm one of those people that's super skeptical about expansions. Did I say skeptical right? I think I said spectacle. Skeptical about expansions. This one very much works for me, and I'm very excited to feature it and kind of put this thing on the channel today. I expect we'll end up doing 2 runs of this, and I expect both of them will end in glorious defeat, but we should have some fun doing it. So Mike James says, that's how it goes sometimes. Greg, laugh out loud. The city is Gregopolis on this channel, isn't it? Sure. Zars81, you are looking for the Fountain of Youth in the expansion. Yeah, correct. Which is cool. And there's like conquistadors and others that are really out to kill us. If we find the Fountain of Youth, it is a very cool mechanic where, well, when we get there, we'll talk about it. If it comes out early, it doesn't really make a big difference. It can make a huge difference, though, if it comes out like mid-game. So we'll see how that all plays out. Silver Fear, what's up? Brian says, hello. Zara says, I did not know about the Werewolf expansion. And Mike Owens also says, hello. Mike! Uh-oh. Yeah, we're definitely going to lose. Mike's here. Mike, I'm sorry, dude. I don't want you to feel like the kiss of death, but you're kind of the kiss of death. At least there's no dice rolling, so that will be helpful. But yeah, man. It is what it is. So all these suckers are shuffled. I'm going to take these 8 slip cards. We're just going to kind of randomize them, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to put 4 between the base camp and the peak, and they'll all be pointing up toward the peak on either side. So ding, ding, ding. I don't know why the mountain dings, but all mountains should ding. And then now we're going downhill. There's some really cool effects with the mountain, but the mountain does make our journey longer. So instead of needing 8 jumps, we're going to need 10. There are 11 cards in front of me. There's going to be 5 jumps between our base camp and the peak, and then 5 jumps between our peak and the lost city of Gregopolis, which I'm just going to lean into that. I like it. Let's go with it. We have to randomize one of our companions. We only get one of these suckers. They function in all ways like the explorers that we have. And the explorers, I think I used the other 3 last time. Again, there are 2 explorers. One's an expert in navigation. One's an expert in plants, health, camping, jungle. There we go. And then this one's an expert. And then Teddy, good old Teddy Roosevelt, is an expert in camping. They all start with 3 health. We also have 3 food for all of the explorers. And then we have 3 bullets. Then the Werebeast, we're just going to put him aside for now because, he's just looking really ferocious, and the flavor of that is awesome. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roll of the day. I get Volcana. Hello, Volcana. Now, Volcana is an expert in nothing, but she is super friggin' tough. Look at those guns. She is putting on a gun show if I have ever seen it. Who needs ammunition when we have Volcana? So we if we need to take health, if we need to lose a health, we can lose it from Volcana just as much as we can use it from the Explorers. But again, remember the expertise means that if we need a navigation, we can lose one health from Candido if we don't have any exploration expertise cards over here. Um, if or we could take 2 health from anybody else. So if we need an expertise, we could always take 2 health from Volcana instead of one from the Explorer that would correspond to that expertise. Or if we just need to lose a health in general, say because we need to eat a food and we have no more food, we can just take one from Volcana as we would be able to with any of the other explorers that are on our little journey with us. Mike Owen says, "You're not wrong. Every time I log in to watch you lose." Hoping for the best today, since you literally can't roll a 1. I didn't lose yesterday. I don't know if you were there. Maybe that's why I won. But yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday were brutal. So Kametsi, Rinty, I love y'all, but you will have to fight another day. We are going to go forward with our journey again. So we start in the base camp. We are going to get 6 cards at the beginning of this fine day, and the 6 cards we're going to get are Swamp. We're going to get the Injury. We're going to get a Vantage Point. We're going to get a Bushmaster, and 2 more coming. We have a Monkey, and we have Ants, which lets me to skip over 2 cards, which is super nice. Now, remember, in the morning, all cards that go here are going to go in numerical order. So 1 to up to 50 something. I'm going to put this there to remind me that at the beginning of the hike, we're going to have to do the action of the base camp. Or at the action on the card that we are on up there, we happen to be on the base camp, which will help us by giving us 1 more food for our journey. Gotta like that. So there is an argument. Maybe we hang there for another round. I don't know. But we are going to end up with 3 cards that we were dealt, plus 3 cards from the deck to make our journey, to make up the events of our morning hike here. All right, so to start this off, we are going to pick 2 cards from the top and put them here. So we have Progress, and we have the Jaguar. That's right, I said Jaguar like a weirdo because it was fun. Now, every time you see red boxes on a card, it means you only have to do one of them, but you must indeed do one of them. If you see nothing but blue boxes, it means everything's optional. Every yellow box you see is always mandatory. So things to remember. Now, I do wish that Ants was in front of Bushmaster. I think this would be a good combo for next turn. So I'm probably going to leave these off to the side. Swamp is also pretty nasty. So I could kind of leave those 3 up. These 3 off to the side for my afternoon hike where the rules of how things get placed are, oh, Injury is terrible. Never mind. We're going to do that. I think I want to use those. I don't mind the Monkey and the Swamp in the end of this, and we have Vantage Point. The Jaguar could be a little weird, but I have to put 2 cards to this display, so I'm going to put Monkey and I'm going to put Swamp. We add 1 more card from the top of the deck, and that card is going to be a Steep Path. Woof. That's also not great. And then last but not least, we have to add 1 more card, and now this is our full display for this lovely hike on this fine morning. So we're going to start with the base camp. I'm putting that remind me. So the base camp action says, hey, yellow box, take a food. Don't mind if I do. And now we go, and I'm going to use another token here just to help us see where we are in the journey. I'll make it a different color. So we're on the Jaguar. So I have 2 options. I could lose 2 health and then skip the next card, or I can spend a bullet and get myself, and that's mandatory. The only things that are optional is when it says you can switch the position of 2 cards. Or I can spend 1 ammo to get a, what are you? Jungle Expertise. Also, I'm going to spend an ammo, which is a little painful in my heart, but that's fine. And we get a Jungle Expertise, and now this gets added over here as a kind of supply for us, and I definitely put it underneath my ugly mug. There's no good place for me to be on this screen. How about this? I'll put myself up here. This is, my camera's really far out. Like, it's kind of nuts. This is just like a single deck of cards. But then I'll put myself there, and I'll switch myself to the other side when we get over there, because I think that's going to be more important from a table space perspective. Little behind the scenes rearranging. Woo! All right. Mike Owens says I was not. Jonathan says laugh out loud. I'm Mike Owens. Jonathan says this game always looks fun, but I am firmly in a reduced collection size before all these crowdfunded games arrive mode for a bit. It is a pretty small box though. Yeah, I. It's so tiny, dude. It's nice. I'm not gonna lie. This is the size of the rule book. It's very it's very space conscious. I am very much a fan of small box games these days. And then we have Mike Owens. If it makes you feel better, I've won exactly 2 games of Spirit Island in the last week as I learned to play the game. Yeah, that's about right. When I first was learning Spirit Island, I kept playing. I was rotating through spirits until I beat all of the base game adversaries at level 6. I think it was something like 60 games before I finally beat England at level 6, and it was with Thunder Speaker naturally, with just the base game content. And then I added in Branch and Claw, and obviously the rest is history with me. All right, so that is done. We go to the next thing. We're in progress. I want to start moving, I think. Now, I could gain a health. I could spend a jungle expertise to get 2 food. I could spend a navigation expertise, which would mean losing a health from Candido or losing 2 health from anybody else, including Volcana, and I could get 2 food. Or I could spend a health or 2 health and get progress. And I think I want to be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. So I'm going to spend this. That's right. High school cheers, baby. Yeah. All right. So we just did 1 health there. We are going to progress. We go here. We now flip this. And this is basically just an empty part of the journey. There are no actions on there that we will have to worry about, which is good. So we can chill there for the rest of this round. There are some very negative effects on some of these cards that we will want to move quickly past so we don't get stuck doing that. So we did progress. This card is just discarded. It doesn't give me an expertise. And remember, we will not see it again because we're only going through the deck once because of the endurance rule that comes with the expansion. Steep Path. Well, I could lose 2 health from any combination of my companion or my explorers here. I don't want to do that. And I'm going to say investigators because I'm an Arkham LCG player at heart. And if I say investigators, just know I mean explorers. So I could lose 2 health and then I could skip the next card and then I could travel. I don't want to lose 2 health. I already traveled once. I would love to travel again, but that seems like a really steep price to pay in the first round. So I'm going to spend the 1 food to take this as an exploration expertise. So now I have a couple expertise cards, so I don't mind that. We go to Vantage Point. I can lose a health, swap 2 cards, and then get a jungle expertise. So I will lose 2 health. I'm going to lose 1 health. So I have to lose it. So I'm going to lose 1 health from Volcana. I can swap those 2 cards. There's no point in doing that at all. And then I'm going to take this card as a jungle expertise. Now, additionally, I could spend an ammo to get a food. 1 ammo for 1 food is not a good trade. So I'm going to put this over here. So I have a bunch of jungle expertise. Now we get to the monkey. The monkey steals some of our food because he's a jerk. And now I get a navigation or a jungle expertise. Oh, yeah, I already talked about that. So now I have that. And now we get to the swamp. The swamp says, well, add a card. So this could be really bad. Oh, not great, not terrible. And now we can either spend a navigation expertise or lose 2 health. No, we are an expert navigator of the swampland. So I'm going to spend my navigation expertise and get rid of the swamp. And now we have to lose a health. We keep losing health, and it makes me sad. I'm going to lose a health from Volcana because, she is super tough, and hopefully we can heal her. And now I'm going to take the camping expertise, and then I could spend this navigation expertise instead of losing a health. Remember, 2 red boxes. I can choose which one I want to do. So I'm going to spend the monkey, but we take that because it gives us a camping expertise, and that is the end of our hike in the morning. However, we're hungry now, so we have to stop to eat. We spend the food. We have 1 food left, which isn't great, and then this flips over as we get ready for our evening hike. Whew! All right, Mike Owens. Nope, good. No new comments. Let's go to the evening hike. So in the evening hike, it's different. We don't have to put these things in numerical order, right? We put them in. What we do is we add something to the line, and then every new card that's added has to go in the front or in the back. And we can do that in any order. So with 3 cards from the deck, 3 cards from our hand, we have to play the first card, but then it's totally up to us what we want to do after that. We have We know we want to avoid that loss of 2 health. We know we want to avoid this because I don't want to spend any of my 2 ammo or either 2 health there. So these 2 are really, really bad cards for us. But fortunately, we have some ants. So I'm going to actually play the ants. Now I could choose deck or one of my cards. I'm going to play injury. I can choose deck or one of my cards. I'm going to play Bushmaster. And I'm going to hope that the 3 cards on the top of the deck are a little bit lucky. So the first card off, I can put it in the front or in the back. First card off is Nightshade. We have a couple of jungle expertise. This isn't going to be that bad for us. I'll just put this up front. 2 more cards coming off. Next card is, trying to make a little bit more room over here, is going to be Vampire Bats. It's going to give us a food. That's not going to be terrible for us. Again, we got a lot of expertise cards in the first round, and that 1 food will be nice because, you know, when you're hungry in the woods, you eat a bat. That's what happens. And then we get the worm hooks. This also isn't. Oh, we are running out. We only have 1 camping expertise, so we might have to lose 1 health, and that's a wee bit unfortunate, but could be worse. I will indeed take this here. So, what are we going to do? We are going to do the action that's on the card that we're at. There is no action there, so we're good. So we go right to hookworms. I'm going to spend this camping expertise because I can spend the camping expertise, spend an ammo, or spend a health. I spend the camping expertise, and we've gotten past the hookworms, which I still don't know entirely what that. Yeah, I don't know entirely. Oh, wolf. Well, I see he gets hookworms on his hand. I don't know entirely what this is doing or why I would want to break an ammo to heal hookworms. So someone who's smarter than me can explain that. We now go to the vampire bats. Unless we're just trying to get the gunpowder out to burn them. I don't know. It's all crazy. So vampire bats. Vampire bats give us a food. And now I can spend a camping expertise or I can spend 2 health. I don't have a camping expertise. So I'm just going to spend the 1 health from my boy Teddy, and that's going to be done with that. So if again, I can spend 1 health from Teddy or 2 health from anybody else, I'll spend the 1 health from Teddy. Or if I had camp expertise, I can spend that. I obviously did not, so that is done. We're now, just making sure did I cheat last turn? No, I took that health, right. Making sure I didn't use Volcana for expertise. Right, never mind. Talking to myself. All right, I could switch the order of 2 cards. I don't want to. I'm just going to spend this jungle expertise. We've gotten rid of the Nightshade, and now we get to ants. I get to skip the next 2 cards, and I could lose 1 health to get 2 food, and I think that's worth it. I'm going to spend a health from Volcana. I'm going to get 2 food because, you know, ants make great food, and then we're going to have that card done. At the end of the evening, we're hungry, we eat, and now we go to morning. Checking the chat. Boom. Zars, you were getting the gunpowder out to burn them and clean the wounds. Excellent. Thank you, sir. I am not a survivalist by any means. If I was stuck in the woods, well, hopefully I have some board games that keep me occupied while I slowly starve to death. Is probably how that would go down. All right, we got 6 cards. We have the Talisman. Oh, interesting. The Talisman is going to mark one of our dudes with the B symbol. We have the Pounding Rain. We have the Rope Bridge. We have the Taparape, I think is how you're pronouncing that. We have Electric Eels, and we have Leeches. All right, putting 2 cards on the board from the deck. The Poisonous Frog, we're going to have to lose a health, skip the next card. And then if we have a navigation expertise, we can turn it into a jungle expertise. Not sure why I would ever want to do that, but, you know, that's cool. And then we have the Swarm. So hopefully the Poisonous Frog and Swarm stay together. So we get to skip that because I'm pretty light on camping expertise at this moment. I'm probably going to save Leeches for the next round. Don't really love that card. Don't love Pounding Rain. I'm very short on camping expertise, and that's paying some dividends, or paying something. It's doing something bad. I could do Tapa Rapid to make sure I progress. I'm not gonna have a Ooh, my voice is cracked because puberty is the thing. I definitely want to use the rope bridge to advance as well. I don't have a navigation thing. All my expertise went away. I had so much. I might use the electric eels again to take a wound to get 2 food, but that makes me add a card. So I'm gonna put the Talisman in play, and I'm gonna put the electric eel's in play. I have to add one more card from here. It is number 31.5. I okay. I think it's too soon to become a werewolf, but not impossible. We are going to add one more card to this beautiful display. I think I add Taparapi. Sure, why not? All right, so we do the effect there. There's nothing there. We are on the talisman. I'm going to read it from the source to make sure I do not screw this up. Rules: if you take a mark action and none of the explorers in your team is already marked, slide the Werebeast Explorer card under one of your explorers so its name is visible. The explorer is now marked. You may choose to mark any living explorer on your team, but not a companion. If that explorer dies before you take another mark action, set the Werebeast card to one side. A different explorer may now become marked. So, and if we take a mark action the second time, blah blah blah. You cover the explorer's card with the Werebeast card and restore it to the starting health. And then additionally, so then for the rest of the game, instead of having that expertise, it now has an ammunition expertise. So when you want to use a gun, when you want to use an ammo, you instead can, if you don't have any ammo, you can take a health off the Werebeast instead. So it's a pretty interesting mechanic. Definitely think it's too soon to go total Werebeast, but I like the flavor of it a lot because I'm an uber dork. So talisman, I am gonna mark somebody. Who do I want to mark? Who do I not like? I definitely don't want to mark the navigation dude. I'm gonna mark. I guess I do mark Teddy. I mean, it probably makes the most sense. I mean, poor Inez. I mean, I got like the geriatric team here with Candido, and Candido's like, "Hello, follow me," because that's how he talks clearly. So Teddy's gonna get the mark because whenever you can mark a former president, that is what you do. And then we're gonna take this card again for the jungle expertise over here. We have to lose a health, and then we use the next card. We move past the next card. I will lose a health from Inez, so everyone's down to 2, including my companion, and then we're going to skip Swarm, which is useful. I'm not going to turn a navigation expertise into a jungle expertise. I already have 2 jungle expertise and no other expertise. This goes over here. We get to the pit. This is a card from the Werewolf modular expansion. We are going to add a card that's pretty interesting, potentially mildly terrible. We'll find out. And then I can either spend an ammo to get a food, or I could turn Teddy into a full-blown werewolf, or I could spend a jungle expertise. Well, I think the jungle expertise makes the most sense at this point in the game. We go to the electric eels. The electric eels, the yellow box tells us we have to add a card. Wow, that's not awful. Yeah, surround is pretty bad. It's either spend 2 ammo. This is from the Fountain expansion, so that's pretty rough. So I had a card. I can lose a health to take 2 food. I'm not gonna do that this time. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that this time. That's fine. We're gonna go here. I'm gonna spend this jungle expertise. I could spend it to get a health back, but no, I want to. I didn't advance at all in the second round. Remember, I have to do 9 more jumps by the time we get through this deck, so I don't really have the time to dawdle. So I'm going to spend the jungle expertise, and I'm going to move here, and this is now another blank spot, so we don't have to worry about any camp actions making our life difficult at the beginning of our afternoon or our evening hike on this day. So that's done. This goes over here. Lost, I could spend 2 navigation expertise to advance again. Obviously, I don't have any over there. I would have to kill Candido, or take 1 from Candido and kill Volcana, or take 1 from Candido and kill Inez or Teddy. I don't want to do any of that. So I'm going to add 2 more cards. 1 and 2. I also want to skip Surrounded, so this will work pretty well. And those are actually excellent cards for me to grab there. So I'm going to skip Candida. I'm going to add 2 cards. I'm going to take this as a camping expertise, and we skip the next card. So Surrounded is out. We go to Healing Herbs. I don't love skipping this card because I kind of like it, but it would give me a food or some expertise. So unfortunately, I'm skipping this card because I have to. The yellow box tells me so. I'm going to do 1 damage to Inez because she has the jungle expertise, but it gives me 2 heal. So I'm going to heal Inez right back. I'm going to heal Candido, but the cost of doing that, so it's 1 damage to Inez because she has jungle expertise, but I heal 2, so I healed her right back, plus another heal, and now I do have to add another card, so we're going to be at the mercy of whatever this is. Man, we're just continually adding cards, aren't we? This is going to be the hike that never ends. So there's a raid. I'm going to spend my jungle expertise, but that makes me add a card. And we have 2 optional things where I could spend that was a camping expertise. I said the wrong thing. I spent my camping expertise to add a card, and now I can spend jungle expertise to skip a card, but they're both optional, so I'm going to ignore both of them, and that is done. At the end of the morning hike, we're hungry, we eat lunch, and now we go to evening. Woo! All right. Zars says, neither am I. Laughs. My Gowan's just an impressive beard for someone going through puberty. I'm jealous. Excellent. All right. Interesting. What do I want to do? I'm gonna put yeah, leeches and pounding rain, both, neither of them are great. I definitely want to do rope bridge. Pounding rain, this lets me take the card off the end. This lets me skip the next card though, but they're both going to cost me a food and a health, or a food and a camping expertise, which I don't have much. Remember, there's only a few more cards that have the mark symbol, and I've already gone through 2 of them. 1, 2. What is there? 6 mark cards total? That's like important to remember. How many mark cards are there? Oh yeah, there's 4 adventure cards. So I'm going to have 4 more opportunities to turn him into a werewolf. We have seen a number of the fountain cards though. 1, 2, 3. Just 3? Just 3. Just you and I. Alright. So that's interesting. I don't know what to do. It was just screwed up in this one. I'm going to play rope bridge, and I decidedly do not want to skip this, and then I want to see what the next card is, and then figure that out accordingly. Remember, I had the rope bridge has the swap symbol too, which I kind of like, so I'm going to take 1 from the top of the deck. Ooh, footprints. I like footprints. Footprints is like, oh, so we can either track an animal to kill it and get 3 food, or it allows us to skip the next card, which can be super nice. So yeah, I'm going to have footprints here. And I think I'm going to want to skip this because it's a bad card. And remember, I still have the swap thing, so I could always rearrange this order later if I want to. I get 2 more cards from the deck and 1 more card from my hand. Insects. Candido is about to get punched in the face a lot, I think. This gives me a jungle expertise. Got it like that. So gonna do this, and then I'll do this, and then we're going to add 1 more card, and if I like it, I'll put it in the front. If I don't like it, I put it in the back because insects would get rid of it. A lot of insects in this jungle. Ooh, I could. It's one of 4 last opportunities I have to turn Teddy into a werebeast. But I'm not ready, Teddy. I'm not ready to say goodbye to you. I love you too much. So we're just going to drop that and hopefully don't regret it. I'm going to be a little short on food, but I think I'll be okay. So I can swap the location of any 2 cards. So again, nothing on there, so we don't have to worry about the camp action or the location action. We're going to do the rope bridge. I'm going to lose a health from Candido to pay the price for navigation, and that's going to let me advance. We're going to flip this over. Awesome. So if we start our next hike there, we can spend a camping expertise, either a card or a health from Teddy or 2 healths from anybody else to gain a health back. Could be useful, but the rope bridge is done. Thank you, rope bridge. We're going to skip the next card with footprints because I don't have a lot of camping expertise anyway, so like healing is not much of a thing. So I'm going to spend the camping, I'm going to do footprints. I'm going to skip the pounding rain because that's not a great card for us. As much as I would love the food, I do want to get the explorer and I want to get rid of the pounding rain. And we're going to advance here. Nice. There was a down plane that we stumbled across in our travails, and now we're going to start the next turn with either choosing one of those 2 red boxes. So we can take a bullet or we can take 2 food. I love that. That's a super lucky card for us. And once we get to the peak, we'll be able to see the rest of the cards all the way down. So that's, again, a really nice arrangement of cards. Footprints is over. This goes here. I have to spend the navigation expertise. I have no expertise card, so Candido is down to 1 health, but I skip the next card. I get a jungle expertise, and then I take a card. I lose the card from the back of the line as long as it's not the card that I'm currently resolving. So I also lose that. This is done. I'm sorry. I get this jungle expertise. End of the hike. I'm hungry. I eat food before I go to bed because it sucks to go to bed on an empty stomach. And then this thing flips over for the morning hike. Woo! All right, everyone's still alive. I mean, that's something. I've gone through not even half the deck yet, so don't hate that for sure. We're gonna draw 6 cards. We get dehydration. That's brutal. We get ruins. Spend a food and take 2 cards off the back. Plus, you have some potential for an exploration step or an advance action. We have the Standing Stone. It might be time, guys. It might be time. I think Teddy is feeling a little wolfy. He's feeling a little like they're happening internally for him in a way that might not be deniable any longer is how I see this going down. So we'll see. And we have the temple. You have to spend the jungle expertise, and then you could choose to either rearrange the cards or lose the final card and add a card, rearrange the cards or lose a card and add a card. Some nice options there. That is from the Fountain expansion. We have Bakayari or Bakayiri, spend a food to get a jungle expertise. That could be super nice. And then finally, we have the Old Pathway, another chance for an advance action. Again, we have 6 more advances to go. The next one will get us to the peak of the mountain, where the sights ahead of us will be absolutely opened up and clear to see for all. We're going to get 2 cards to start our morning hike. So we have Thunderstorm, which makes us skip 2 cards. And then either spend a camping expertise or spend a health. That could be good. Get rid of dehydration because that's a nasty, nasty card. And then finally we have the Kapak. Spend a food to get a camping expertise, and then I can spend the navigation expertise to get a health, and then remove the card from the end of the line. Well. Thunderstorm's in an awkward spot. The only cards I have higher than 35 are Dehydration and the Temple. I'm not sure I want to lose the Temple, but I'm worried that when I pull a card, if it's between 35 and 54, if I try to put Dehydration there to lose that from Thunderstorm, I might be putting myself in a place where that's actually just going to go away. So I could gamble a little bit there with the numbers. I mean, we know the numbers that already came out: 53, 48, 50, 43. 49, 37. So a lot of the cards in between those 2 numbers have already been seen. 45 is between 48, 31, the 51 helps. So I think the math's pretty good there. So I'm gonna gamble with that. I'll put that there. I don't want to mess with ruins. It's too good. Teddy, I think we can survive one more round with him. He's gonna become a weird beast in our evening hike. Are we advancing? If we don't advance too, that could be good because get 2 rounds of food, and we're gonna need it. So I think if I save those 3, if I put this in play here, actually I don't want to put the temple in there because I want dehydration to go away. If I put those, if I put these three and old pathway, I think that could work well. No, my bad. I already put two in. So if I put, right, let me put those two in. I draw one more card and then I choose one more card from my hand. Come on, Greg. What are the rules? You're supposed to be the solo guy. Oh, that's fine. Never mind. 30 is good. I got confused. It happens sometimes. Yeah, I wanted it. I did not want it between 35 and 54. 30 is absolutely stupendous. And I'm going to add old pathway because I can. Makes me add a card. That's a little dangerous. But I like it. So we're going to do that. We're going to carry out the location action. I'm going to take the 2 food. I do not want the bullet. And now we go to old pathway. Old pathway makes us. Oh, right, but I didn't want to travel. Ah. Yeah, I'm not that excited about traveling. Because I wanted to get them more food. Well, say lovey. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna not travel because of that. I think Old Pathway's too good. I really want to save these cards for the evening hike. So we got the 2 food because of that. We're gonna move there with Old Pathway. We add a card after that. So we're still back to 6 cards. Faulty Kit is not terrible. And now that we're at the peak, we can see all the way down the mountain, so we can reveal all the rest of these cards. So this is going to make us add 1 card. This gives us a scout action, which allows us to look at the next 3 cards in the deck, and we have to keep them in the same order in a solo game, but we can choose whether to discard all 3 or keep them on top of the deck, so it can be really useful. This gives us a scout action, and then we have to add a card. There could be a nice combo there, because you get to look at the next 3 cards and decide, hey, do I want that card added to the end of the line? And then this gives us, hey, we have to spend 1 more food if we start our hike there. We're going to go to Bakari. Erie, I don't know. We're spending the food to get a camping expertise. This goes on to the cougar, not that kind of cougar. Sorry, I can't turn down a good opportunity for a cougar joke. It's a thing, kids. I am going to spend. I want to save my ammo, but I also want a navigation thing. Woof. Want to spend ammo? I mean, I'm about to turn Teddy into a werebeast, so if I, lose an ammo, it's not the worst idea. Yeah, we're gonna spend the ammo. We're gonna get the navigation expertise. We'll do that. We're gonna move here. We move these next 2 cards. By dehydration, by Kapak. And now I have to spend a camping expertise, or I can spend a health off Teddy. I'm going to turn him into a werebeast anyway. I'm going to spend the health off Teddy. And then this goes away. And now here, I can spend a camping expertise, a health from anybody, or an ammo. I will spend a health from Volcana for the middle option. Remember, when Teddy's dead in a werewolf, I'm not going to have any camping expertise, so holding onto that card for a little bit longer is going to make some sense, because when I need camping expertise, when I don't have Teddy, it's going to be 2 health from anybody else if I absolutely need camping expertise. So, done and done. So we are going to now start we have to spend a food at the end of our morning hike. We go to evening, checking the chat. Mike Owen says, time to unleash the Were-Ted. Yep. I dig. I think you're gonna be a Were-Ted. Yeah, we're tedding it up. I'm so light on food, man. Woof. I have 1 ammo left though, so there are definitely things that I can kill for food. I just haven't seen a lot of them yet, so that bodes well for the downslope. We're halfway there. Whoa! We're halfway to the lost city of Gregopolis. Yeah, man, it doesn't really roll off the tongue with the original, but I like it. We're gonna put that there. And then we're going to add from here. Again, I can do it in any order. These two cards, the three cards on the top of the deck. So we're going to add this. Ooh, hello. The path ahead is looking mighty fine. Definitely need to explore our faces off. So I'm going to do that. We're going to draw another card from the deck. Captured is terrible. Captured is really bad. So capture is like kill somebody or lose 3 food. Well, I'm going to put you in the end because I have ways to get rid of you. I'm going to draw from the deck again, and I really need to put cards early now because I have to make sure this is one of the last 2 cards in the display or in the hike. Oh, fever's also really bad. Woof. You got a fever. Fever isn't good, guys. Nothing is healing me. And the path ahead's going to add another card, so think this is what I have to do. I'm going to add this here. Oh, wait, I could do this. I could make this work. Yeah, I dig it. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put... I'm really short on food. Oh, I just want food. I wish I could jump twice. I don't think I'm going to be able to jump twice. I think I'm going to be able to jump once this round. And that's going to make me add a card, which is slightly frustrating. Oh, that could work. Subtract, add. Yeah, I think I'm only getting 1 jump. Unless I... Oh, navigation. Candido. Candido is so light on health, and I'm definitely hurting on food. So, yeah, we're only going to get 1 jump this round. That's fine. We're going to do... What order should I do these in? We're going to do this and then this. So we'll see what this card is, and then we'll be able to plan accordingly. So first I'm going to do this action. We're going to scout. I'm looking at the next 3 cards, keeping them in this order. So the card to the left is the one that's on top. So the card to the left is spend a food, add a card, and travel. But again, advance. But I'm really just absolutely out of food here, which is no bueno. These are all advance cards. This is kill somebody in advance. This is spend 2 health in advance. This is spend a health, get some expertise. I don't know how I drop 3 cards that have advanced abilities on them. Those 2 cards go away. I swap 2 other cards. Add a card. Oh, the temple is actually in a bad spot. I have that. The path ahead is going to make me add this. I will not have a food. I have no food. Could get a food from here. That probably makes sense. Get a car, get a food. Yeah, I'll do it that way. I'm not going to take this advance. I'll take this advance, I think is what I'm going to have to do here. So I'm going to keep them right where they are instead of discarding all 3. So scout action is done. We now do the path. I'm going to spend my last food. I'm going to get rid of both the cards on the end of the line. Those both go here in the discard. I'm going to lose a health from Inez, so everyone's down to, their final health. I'm going to spend this navigation expertise, and I'm going to travel, because we have to keep going ahead. So ruins, we're done with that card. We go to the temple. I'm going to spend a jungle expertise. I'm going to I'm going to swap the order of 2 cards because I don't want, and that's all optional. I don't want to lose the Standing Stone and then gain a card, so we're just going to do this. So this is out. The Standing Stone, I'm going to gain those expertise, and then I'm going to do the mark. So Teddy is now the Were-Ted, and Teddy's going to get back to full health. And again, when I need an ammo, I could spend a health from the Werebeast instead, and then I gain those expertise up there. Oh, even better, because now I could do that jump too, which I like, because I don't want to add an extra card next turn. The path ahead, we add a card. But I'm out of food, and I don't like being out of food, because that's going to cost me health, and Volcana might have to go bye-bye. I could do that. Yeah, I'm going to use my last ammo to get a food. So that's done. Again, both of those are optional. And now I have 3 ammo with Teddy, so I think that makes sense. Yeah, we'll do that. So that's out. And then we're going to do the rapids. I'm going to spend the food I just got. I'm going to spend this navigation expertise, and we get another advanced action, which moves me here. So 3 jumps away. I have an optional. I could spend a jungle expertise to swap 2 cards. Do that twice. Obviously, that doesn't help. So that's done. We get to the end of our evening hike. I have no more food, so I have to lose a health. I'm going to lose a health from Vlacana. So my companion is gone, but I still have all 3 of my explorers. So one of your explorers has to make it to the end to win. If you just have your companion alive, that's not going to work. You can just have the Werebeast alive, and what a freaking trip that is. So we are definitely gonna be a little concerned about how many cards we have in our deck, but we need 3 more jumps. So if we can aggressively do 3 more jumps and get to the end, I don't care, man. We win. That is game over. So we're gonna draw 6 cards to get ready for our morning hike. We have Ayato Ahi. I could kill someone off to get an advance action. Don't mind if I do. I could lose 2 health from somebody to get an advance action, or spend an ammo to get a camping expertise. So that's another option there. So that's our second card. Our third card is I can kill someone off and get an advance action. I can win on those 3 cards alone, which is really sick. But again, it depends how everything else lays out. I can kill someone to get an advance action. There's a lot of murder happening in this round, apparently. I can spend the navigation expertise to advance somebody. Obviously, if I spend the navigation expertise from Candido, that would kill him. So again, murder. Thick Fog, I can spend the navigation expertise to rearrange 2 cards and then skip the next card. And then finally, last but not least, we have the Fountain. The Fountain is so freaking cool. So the Fountain gives us 1 health guaranteed, but it's 56.5, so you have to get to it, right? It's a very late card. Or we could kill someone and get 4 health spread around everybody else. Now, if Volcana was still alive, I could indeed heal her, but we have sacrificed her for the sake of our exploration here. Woo! Mike Owen says, though I suppose that could be borderline cannibalism. Sure, I forget. I don't know what the direct response to, but people say cannibalism like it's bad. I mean, oh god, headlines. Greg from solo playthroughs is a fan of cannibalism. I'm not. I was joking. Just a joke. All right. Here we can spend the navigation expertise, add 2 cards, or kill somebody and skip the next 2 cards. Narrow escape. It's not so narrow when somebody dies. That's all I'm saying. Here we can lose a health to explore, and then there is the mark symbol. So we can drop 2 cards in the end, lose a health to explore. So we have to do one of those 2. Or we get the mark symbol, but again, the mark symbols have no effect on the rest of the game once the Werebeast comes into play. The next one is, we only draw 2. I didn't see what that was. Pay no attention to me and my lack of competence. Oh, man. Murder! I would like health. I have had very few opportunities for health, and I've had very few opportunities for food. This coming out where it did was crazy lucky. I do think that it's gonna make some sense for us to try to get these 3 jumps done this round. I would be hopeful that I can keep all my explorers alive. I don't think that's gonna happen. And the Werebeast might indeed be the only one to make it through. Woo! All right. Well, I have I have number two, which is not a statement about bowel movements, I assure you. So I have number two with Zinguano. So I'll put that there. And then I'm going to add, man, health be at a premium, kids. That's not great for me. I'm already spending a health from Teddy that way. God, there's like the abandoned cabin. Like there are a lot of good cards we have not seen. There's the piggy pig thing that gives us some food. Yeah, piggy pig. It's a technical term. Question is, do I try to blitz this and do this in this round, or do I try to do it in the next round? Rearranging two things without a skip ability is rough, but again, I do not have any navigation expertise. Oh, I get navigation expertise from Hi Ayato Ahi, but I just want to be doing that jump then. Would not be doing that jump. I think I like this card. Woof. I think I like this card enough. So I'll do that. The next card off, act surprise. It's mudslide. I do have the camping expertise there, but it's going to cost me a food and a health, and that's all sorts of not great. And that is 52. There's an argument to kill off Inez. Take the your everyone maxes out at 4 health, so I can kill off Inez, get everyone else the max health from the fountain, and kind of ride that wave home. But no food, man. Just none. No food anywhere. Woof. I think I'd do that. Let's do some fountainous stuff. People are not going to make it. So fountain would go here. And now we're going to start our thing. So I get to scout the next 3 cards. This could be important. I could discard them all, or I can keep... Oh, abandoned camp. Yes. Oh, both beautiful and beautiful some more. That's a sick 2 cards. So I'm going to put those back on top. I'm going to go to Zinguanu. I'm going to spend I'm going to spend a health from Werebeast because his expertise is ammo, because it's like, wow, Werebeast. That's my impression of a Werebeast. I'm going to do this. So I did the top. So again, I could do any of those 3 things. I did the top. I'm going to keep this camping expertise, and then I could rearrange 2 cards. I'm going to rearrange the fountain and this card because I want the fountain up front. The fountain lets me take a health, and then I can kill off an explorer. Sorry, and as you'll remembered super fondly, and I get 4 more health. So Candido gets up to full. The Werebeast gets up to full. Thank you, Fountain. You go away. Dark Reflection lets me drop the last 2 cards. Ooh. Or lose a health and explore or advance. I think I dropped the last 2 cards. But I'm not advancing if I do that. But that's nice expertise. All right, I'm gonna lose a health from Candido to advance. There. Done. I know what those last 2 cards are, which is I kind of like where that is. I don't love this card, but I'll get over it. I'm gonna lose a health from the Werebeast to take this expertise. I could lose 2 health in advance, but I think the expertise is more important because I'm about to lose a bunch of health here. So again, I had to lose a health. I lost a health from the Werebeast, and I take that expertise. We go here. I have to lose a health. I have to eat a food, so I'm going to lose 2 health. And then I could spend the camping expertise. I have a bunch of it. So this card is done. we go here. I could spend the navigation expertise, or I can add 2 cards. I definitely want to add 2 cards because I know what they are and they're beautiful. So 1 and 2. So I did one of those 3 red things. So that's done. We now are going to either take the expertise or take 2 ammo. I'm going to take the expertise because I think that's going to be super useful because you have one of those red cards. And now I can spend the camping expertise to either get a health or get 2 food. I will take the 2 food because if I don't take at least 1 food, I'm going to lose the health anyway. I can spend another camping expertise and get a heal. That's intriguing. Sure. I'll spend another camping expertise. Remember, they're blue boxes. I can do none of them, or I can do all of them. So I'm going to spend this camping I have 1 of every expertise there. I'm going to spend this camping expertise there to give Candido back to 3 health because I know what these cards are, and I definitely want to get my 2 jumps in the evening hike. So morning hike is done. The Werebeast is hungry, obviously. So is Candido, for that matter. So that becomes the evening, and now we go to our evening hike, and I think we'll be good. So I definitely want to put Zavante in play, and then we'll see what these cards are. Spend an ammo or kill someone and skip the next card. That's fine. Spend an ammo to get a food, or spend an ammo to get a navigation. Trying to keep the Werebeast alive, but I think he's going to be sacrificed here. Something that swaps cards would be nice. I could put the Thick Fog in the front, so that's always an option. That's done. What is this? Wolf, that's just the Deo Relena. That's again from the Fountain expansion. So that none of that's great. These are going to be my 2 advanced cards. Don't really see a path around that. So, you know, we'll put, if I'm just changing the order things, that's fine. Yeah, I'll put this here. I'll put the Thick Fog in the front because it's going to give me some possibilities, and I will have enough. I have an expertise there for navigation, and I have 3 health on Candido. We're going to do that action. I get the Scout. Do I want that as the next card up? Not really. It's not great. So I'm going to discard all 3 of them. But then I also have to add a card. It's covering tracks. That's not great. So is what it is. I'm going to discard the Abandoned Camp to swap 2 cards. I'm going to swap Hunted and Charge. Oh, that makes me skip the next card. Woof. That was dumb. I had to put this here. Oh, shoot. Nope. I messed that up. I would have put this here and this here. Never mind. There's no reason why I did that because I forgot it makes me skip the next card. So that was oversight on my part. So I will take the Abandoned Camp back. So Hunted, I'm going to kill off the Werebeast. You know, all good things have to come to an end. Werebeast, sorry. You had a good run, but it wasn't meant to be. That means we jump. And then I'm going to spend the camping expertise, the navigation expertise there to do another advance. We got to the Lost City of Z with Candido with 3 health. He will tell stories to his grandkids about the amazing heroics of Inez, the amazing heroics of the man who turned into a wereted, and the amazing heroics of their companion Volcana. But that, my friends, is it. So, look, the expansions definitely make this game a little bit easier. Still very hard. You're still going to lose a lot. Some really good fortune went my way. I do think the Werebeast module probably, just the fact that you get full health back, I think the Werebeast module probably is the thing that does make it the easiest. If you want to get back, if you take the Werebeast module out and you just have the mountain and the fountain, then they rhyme. Oh, the mountain and the fountain. That is super hard. The companion and I wouldn't recommend the fountain, and the rulebook actually says this. I wouldn't recommend the fountain without the companion because, again, the cards that come with the fountain expansion, other than the Fountain of Youth itself, they are really nasty. So that's 11 cards in a deck that are going to take a lot of your health. So you're going to want a companion to help you along. I mean, if I was playing a lot with the mountain, the fountain, and a companion, and I found those very, very tough. And got close a bunch, lost a bunch. I think I only won actually once. The Werebeast is very, very fun flavor. It's very fun flavor wise, but probably if you're really good at this game, you'll probably win a lot more with the Werebeast. But really like this expansions. I do think it fleshes out this game a lot. I like the modularity. It's easy to add them in. They have the symbols on there, so it's pretty easy to see what comes from what expansion. I will never go back to the base 9. I'll always use the mountain. I think it's super cool. I like the flavor of it. Again, the way the locations came out made this very much easier, right? If you switch those four with those four, I mean, two of these cards are making you add a card to the hikes, and one of these cards is making you spend an extra food. So the fact that these came out the way they did really helped. Even though, I mean, you look at the number of good cards I never got, like Piranhas would have been really good. He gives you a travel. Awa gives you a travel just for the cost of one food. The Deserted Outpost is great. Yeah, Picari was a card I was looking for the whole time. It gives you a navigation expertise. You get to skip the next card. Plus, you can get two food either from a jungle expertise or an ammo. But yeah, like a lot of really cool flavor. I do love the art in this game. I think it's cool how all the different explorers, even the ones you're not used, are pictured, and I really do like the companions a lot. The Rinty is interesting. I think Rinty is probably the weakest of the companions because all Rinty allows you to do is you can lose a health from Rinty to take the back card off of a travel. Um, so it's much more situational. I think the 5 health on Volcana is really, really strong. And then I think Kamati only has 3 health, but he's an expert in all three things. So I think that's also super flexible. The dog is probably the weakest of the three companions. Sorry, dog lovers. It's just, them's effects. Oh, my ugly mug was blocking the end of the exploration. And then I just pulled the entire wrong screen across the universe. There you go.
My ugly mug was in the way. No one told me.
There we go. Do do do. Which way do I want to do this? Do I want to just? I'll just. I'm like so not centered. We'll do this.
There we go.
So that is the end. We got there, kids. On again, whatever I said the first game about like trying to like create like some kind of engine where you can have the right expertise that you need at all times. Yeah, don't do that. Like I think this game, expansions, no expansions, you're gonna want to be aggressive. The weird thing is, so the base game I bought secondhand, and the expansions I bought new, the expansions have more faded cards than the base game, and I think that's super interesting. There's definitely some color printing issues from Osprey. Overall, it hasn't affected gameplay, especially when you have multiple of the modules in there, because it's really hard to tell which is which. And there's so many cards. I don't think I'll ever play this game enough to like memorize like, oh, that means that this card's left in the deck, or I'm not gonna like, be like, well, I had 7 cards of that color, so the next card is. I don't think that this game is meant for that level of analysis. So I wouldn't really worry about it, but definitely recommend the expansion. I just think it really fleshes out the game in a way that's super, super cool. The one time I played this game co-op, I found it real easy in a way that was a little disappointing. So I do think this is a solo only game, at least for me. And I probably would drop the Werebeast in my future plays of it just because I found that a little easy. But again, I think I'd have to run it back 2 or 3 more times and see. I mean, how did I just get a little lucky, right? But this game's gonna fit that right in there with like Friday and other simple card games that just give you a nice, pleasurable experience, and I really I dig what it does. So, um, do Mike Owens says, "Hey, it wasn't bad luck. At least for this run. Maybe it's only for dice." David Coleman, best of luck. This game needs so much of it. This game Oh, this David, this game needs so much of it. Talking about luck, it's incentive to try again. Yeah, we'll try again. Not on camera. I'll have my losses off camera. I'm gonna end the week on a emphatic win of Lost Expedition, which makes me happy. yeah, this week was rough, man. Well, Australia was also a pretty emphatic win. I think the expansions in that game are really cheese it up in a way I don't love. So yeah, just not a fan. Although I, judging by the number of downvotes I got on that video, I'm guessing I my opinion isn't necessarily widely shared. You can't see the downvotes I get. I still see them. I don't get many, but when I get them, they usually come in bunches. So it's fine. I kind of, downvotes are good, man. They're good. YouTube likes downvotes because so many people hate watch, so they count as engagement. So no complaints here, man. It's funny. I find all that crap funny. Like the amount of times I've downvoted the video, like even before I was a content creator, like I just never understand. Like this is free entertainment. Like watch what you want, but I do find it funny, man. People care. It's a good thing that people care, I guess. Oh, weird times we all live in. But this is super cool. I should maybe sort of having a friend covering over to play some games on a Friday afternoon. So and I, Lord knows I have a bunch of solo games that I want to be digging more into. But hopefully the expansions have helped kind of show this game off a little bit more in all of what it can be. I think there's a, for what I mentioned, there's a Judge Dredd reskin of all these mechanics that essentially has the expansions like thrown into the base game of that. I've read one glowing review of the Judge Dredd thing, but I think he was like a Judge Dredd like fanboy. With no, not meaning that pejoratively. He just like loves Judge Dredd. I have no connection to the Judge Dredd universe, and most, if you look at it from just a strictly rankings perspective, Lost Expedition is much more highly ranked. So there is some kind of dissonance there. I would feel no need to own both versions of this gaming system, but I do think it's clever. I think it's interesting. I think it's a nice little solo game to throw on your small box game shelf, and it travels well. It does some cool things. Again, I'll probably never play it cooperatively again. It just doesn't have enough there for that. But this is fun, man. This is the cool resources. I think the next level of challenge for me would be like, all right, can I survive with all my explorers still alive? Right? I mean, those are the things you'd have to do for like hard modes and stuff. That would be really hard. That would be really, really hard. Michael is jealous of your afternoons of game. I have a 4-day weekend next week, and I'm getting too many bones on Tuesday, so I'll have a lot of time to dive into that. Awesome. Clever Swine, I can see all downvotes still with a Firefox add-on called Return YouTube Dislike. Really? That's nuts. What am I up to? Do I have 4 yet? I had 3 last time I checked, which is a lot for me. So again, it wasn't like a deluge, but it was a lot in one day. That's really funny, man. I don't look. I think the downvote thing. The problem with the downvote thing, right, is that you know, I think as much as it counts as engagement for YouTube, like it can discourage people from like, oh, I went to this video, it had 4 downvotes in the first hour, it must suck, and people don't watch as long, and then if people don't watch as long, well, YouTube's not happy. Number one, because they want people to watch longer, but there's also the reality, like if my time, as much as a downvote counts as engagement, like somebody clicking on a video for 5 seconds and then clicking off of it is the worst case scenario for someone like me. Well, especially early. I don't care as much now. Like I never really cared much then, but like it's something to be aware of because now my time of play was really down. Which would, if your average watch time for a 2-hour video is 3 minutes, they're not going to promote that to many people. If the average watch time of a 2-hour video is 20 plus minutes, that looks great for me, right? So it was affecting how videos were getting out. And then you had just like a number of like people who just don't like other people just going on and like downvote bombing videos. And that's just stupid, right? But that's, I mean, so much of this is like so high school and immature. So I think as an overall move, I think it was good for the forum to get rid of it. Um, because it's a healthier place. And the fact that I can still see the downvotes is good because it's feedback from me, in a way that I like. But a lot of times, yeah, I think downvotes are just someone misclicks. I mean, they're on their phone and accidentally, fat fingered. It is what it is. Mike James, I've been learning Scarface 1920, but left you running in the background for that damned algorithm. It's for my dulcet tones. Come on, man. No, I appreciate that. Dude, my mom used to do that crap. She'd be like, I turned your video on. I was like, did you let it run? No, did I? It's like, thanks, mom. I love you. She just like click on it. She tried. It's fine. It's fine. I'm pretty much beyond being concerned too much about that stuff though. Um yeah, just I'm getting eager to hit 5,000 is definitely what I'm doing because I'm like 100 away and I've been hovering at 400 and 4,900 for a couple weeks now. Every once in a while, YouTube, like you can tell they're going through your list and they start scrubbing subscribers that aren't like real accounts, which is great. I think that's fine. I don't want the numbers to be, you know, totally. I mean, obviously, there's a number of accounts that probably don't really. I have a number of subscribers that probably aren't super active on my channel, which is fine. It's normal. But if you're absolutely scrubbing like dormant accounts, like that's totally cool. But you can tell when it's happening because it's like I have a steady trickle of new subs, and then I'll have a week where I'm like losing subs or I'm like up like one. So that's been happening on my channel the last couple of weeks. So I'm like, oh, I just want to get to 5,000. Do that after I get to 5,000. Make it happen. Mike Owens, I personally don't downvote things. I also just avoid things I know I don't like. Yeah, so there's that. I know, like that's it's so weird. Mike James, if I can help, I will as long as it's as little effort as possible. Gotta support the hustle. It's also funny. Woo. I remember when I started too, like I had some dude on like a Reddit video, a Reddit post, and he was just like, just absolutely. I think it was my Spirit Island rankings. He absolutely went ham against my rankings and rankings in general, and how it's like, just the hustle. Like, you gotta love the hustle though. And I was like, dude, like my channel at that point, I had like 1,000 subs. I was like, dude, how much money do you think I make off this channel? This isn't exactly a hustle. I do this primarily because I enjoy it, right? And that's still true. I make more money now on the channel with Patreon and stuff, and I'm not complaining. It is what it is. But like, this is not. If you're in this for like, you know, making a lucrative business when your channel is at like 1,000 subs, like, dude, like, it was really funny. I was like, yeah, dude, rankings are just supposed to start a conversation, man. They're just for fun. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. But this hobby, man, this hobby has a bunch of personalities. Most are amazing, but as in anything, it's the 80-20 rule, right? Board games are probably like 95-5, but woo, that 5% is something else. Something else for sure. But this was super fun. Thanks for a lively chat, Mike. Thanks for lifting the curse for once. Clever Swine, Reddit is a hard place. Most users there are 18 to 29. Yeah, that kind of shows, doesn't it? I had a guy like post like I had a video from like a year and a half ago, my Gaia project rankings. The guy just like made some crazy comment, and I was just like, all right, so this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong. Is that it? Thanks. I appreciate it. So funny, dude. Reddit is the most toxic place. There's a reason I just lurk there mostly. I think for the most part, I mean, that one comment about Spirit Island subreddit notwithstanding, I do find the Spirit Island subreddit there actually really, really cool. The solo board games place has some interesting threads. But yeah, I don't spend too much time on Reddit. I mean, for me, my favorite places are the individual Facebook groups for individual games. I find to be the most useful, not horrendous places to be, right? The chip theory games ones are great. For Cloud Spire, Too Many Bones, the Arkham one's really nice. Like people just tend to be very helpful, answering questions. The Spirit Island one's excellent. The Maze Knight one, I like the Maze Knight one. They stopped letting me post or comment or anything, and I used to comment all the time. So I don't know who I made mad there, but I'm not losing any sleep over it. I assure you. My guns, I do what I can. We'll see if it carries over to the next week. Laugh out loud. Awesome. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm playing any dice games next week, so I might be. It might be a better time of year for me. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think is my schedule for next week. Thursday afternoon, I'm heading to Boston for the weekend. with my wife. I'm going to be stopping in at PAX East, baby. So I'm meeting up with one of the social media guys from Chip Theory Games. So excited about that, and gonna get a preview of Elder Scrolls or Elden Ring. Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls. Elden Ring is Steam Forest, right? I don't know. I'm so not a video gamer, man. It's so bad. One of those two things. So we're gonna have a preview session with that, which I'm excited about, and yeah. But so Monday through Thursday we'll have a game of Maids Night. We'll have a game of, I don't know, Nemesis. I'm gonna try to get Nemesis on the channel, I think, and then I gotta figure out the rest of the week. I don't know. It's written down somewhere. If you want to see what titles you can expect, as I always say, go to my Patreon page. Link in the description below. Look for March's public post, which will soon be April's public post. If you're watching this with any kind of like week-long delay. Tony Barnett, what's up? Just getting out of meeting and I'm done. Yes. Speaking of going to Boston and going to PAX East, I will be there with Mr. Barnett's. Mike Owens, kindly get all the Elder Scrolls deets. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a crazy hybrid of Team Money Bones and Cloudspire from what I've seen. I'm curious. Um, um, dude, I love Chip Theory games. It's just I know the time it takes to really dig into one of those games. I'm very cautious. Between Too Many Bones and Cloudspire and Hop Marcus Victorum, I'm very cautious in how much I dig into another one of their giant things, which is going to be loaded with rules that aren't totally clearly explained because that's just part of their charm. Tony, to see you next week. Yes, sir. Mike, I'm leaning heavily towards backing the next week on GameFound, but I'm a huge fan of the IP. Yeah, dude, if you have any kind of connection with IP, that is always a big reason to back a game because you know you'll just be that much more programmed to understand it, what's going on thematically, and theme is a big thing that drives how someone experiences the game. I mean, for sure. So it is what it is. But speaking of it is what it is, I'm gonna go. This was great. Everyone, you're the best. Have a great weekend. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, happy gaming.
Solo.